Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about my favorite movie of the year so far in 2025, Weapons. There is a ton I like about this movie and I will be going into spoilers, so you've been warned. I've been interested in this movie since the first trailers dropped months, maybe even a year ago. It was spooky, had an interesting premise, and had actors like Julia Gardner, who I really like because she was in Ozark and she was really good in that. So when my girlfriend asked if I wanted to go see it, I was pumped. And let me tell you, this movie did not disappoint whatsoever. One of my favorite things about this movie is how it was told from different perspectives, the same story, but from different points of view. Changing points of view from Justine to James to Archer, I don't know, it was really cool, and you don't get to see that done very often. Usually when it's done, it's in books. I remember some books where they'd go back and forth between two protagonists, but I think it's a cool way to do it. Another cool thing that I think they did was just dropping us right into the story. Like, immediately we get to see Justine at the meeting with all the parents, and it's not going good for her. All we really know is that there's only one kid left in this third grade class that she teaches, and a lot of people assume that she's the one that took all these kids. We find out that at exactly 2:17, all these kids just woke up in the middle of the night, ran out their door, and just ran in a straight line to a place no one's really sure. And let me tell you, I really like Julia. I thought she did a great job playing her character, but almost every single one of the character decisions that she makes as a character just pissed me off. Like, I'm not kidding. She actively makes every terrible decision she can in this movie. It's almost comical. Like, for one, she's been told multiple times, don't mess with Alex, who is the only kid left in her class. Don't talk to him, don't try to talk to his parents. People are already suspicious enough of her. But then she, stalks the kid. She goes to meet him when the bus drops him off or whatever. She tries to look into their house. Just every bad decision she could make. I don't know. There's more, but a lot of them. She's just making terrible decisions. Also, after looking into the house, that the windows are covered up with newspaper, which is a red flag in itself, she sees the two parents just sitting there. She makes a really loud noise outside and they don't even react. But instead of calling the police, she calls her principal, which I thought was so dumb. This seems like a welfare check should be happening. But no, she decides the principal is the one that should handle this. A big spoiler here, but I'm just amazed that she even survived this movie. With all the dumb decisions she makes, I can't believe that. Like, we even see her stake out Alex's house while drinking vodka and just almost dying because of it. She's just a very flawed character, but very, very, very flawed. Then we see Archer's perspective. It switches from Justine to Archer, and he is the father of one of the kids, and it makes this story sadder. Ever since his son Matthew ran out of their house, and they even have door footage of it, he's been so distraught. He's been sleeping in his son Matthew's bed, just waiting for him to come home. He's actively going to the police every single day just to see what new information they have. And he even paints the word witch on Justine's car because he's one of the parents that really thinks she has something to do with it. He starts going around gathering footage from different parents who have the Ring doorbells, watching to see where the kids are running and where they might intersect. And he does actually a pretty good job of detective work that should have been done by the detectives, oddly enough. Like I said, he is not a fan of Justine, and this is when he goes to confront her when he sees her outside at a gas station. But this is right when the principal Marcus comes and just runs straight at Justine, attacking her. He's running in a very similar way that we see on the Ring doorbells, so we know it's related somehow. But he's just trying to kill her, and Archer helps protect her. And I think that's about the time when Archer learns that Justine might not be the problem. There's another thing going on. Then we switch over to another perspective. We have Paul, the police officer and ex of Justine. He's just driving around making sure everything's okay when he sees a dude that we learn his name is James breaking into a building. He chases him down, eventually getting him, and then when trying to like frisk him, make sure he has nothing dangerous. He pokes himself with a needle that was in James's pocket and is not happy about that, very pissed, and immediately knocks him the heck out. He then remembers that there is footage of this because cop cars have footage. He goes and unplugs that, and then just so James won't essentially go tell on him, he lets him go. It's crazy that police can just unplug these. There should be, I don't know, something stopping that. Right then, at a pretty low moment, he gets a text from Justine. She wants to meet up. They used to date. We find out that he is a recovering alcoholic, and Justine tells him he could have one drink with her, and then they sleep together. But he's also married, even though he says they're breaking up. I don't know, it's a little complicated. But yeah, another thing that Justine shouldn't do, she got an alcoholic drunk just to sleep with him. Another L for Justine. And to be fair, when I say that, like, it's an L for him too. He shouldn't. It was his choice. He shouldn't be drinking. He shouldn't be meeting up with his ex at a bar. So this isn't all on Justine. I'm just saying, don't try to get your alcoholic ex drunk to sleep with him. That's wrong. He goes home and his wife immediately finds out. She just kind of knew he wasn't being very conspicuous, that he cheated on her. And she's very mad. And he goes back to work in a, believe it or not, bad mood. He comes out of work and he sees James coming. James is the guy he knocked out and had the needles. I forgot to say this, but he essentially told him, get out of town or I'm going to kill you. Like, it's stuff like that. He wasn't very subtle. Just, hey, get out of here. So he goes and chases him down again. This ultimately leads to him getting stabbed in the face by some needles. And then that story continues on later. And speaking of James, we get his perspective now and to see what's going on with him. We see that he is an addict and a pretty sketchy guy. We see him trying to break into cars, buildings, anything he can just to get some money to score again. He notices Alex, who is the only kid from the class who didn't disappear. He noticed his family's house and that there's a bunch of newspapers on the driveway, so he thinks no one's home. He could go steal from them. He starts gathering some things, but the house is very odd. For one, he notices the parents just sitting on the couch, and they are brainwashed, comatose, whatever you want to say, but they are not reacting to their stuff getting stolen at all. He then makes his way downstairs and sees all the kids hanging out and gets the heck out of there because they all turn around at once and scare the crap out of him. Then when selling their stuff at the pawn shop, he notices that there is a reward for finding any of these children or finding information about them. So he says, ooh, maybe I could get $50,000 talking to the police. So that's why he was on his way to the police station when he is seen by the cop. Then we cut back to when he just stabs Paul in the face with the needles, and Paul is about to kill him. Paul is over it at this point. He's not about it. But he says he knows where these kids are. And Paul, being still a police officer, is like, okay, you know what? Show me where they're at then. So they go over to Alex's house. With James just handcuffed in the back of the police car, Paul goes in and he talks to, we don't know who. We see the door open. He goes in there. Hours later, he comes out, brainwashed, and drags James, kicking and screaming, into the house. I don't know what the neighbors are up to, but they don't seem to ever notice anything going on. They're just minding their own business. Then we move on to a new perspective, that of Marcus, the principal of the school. After Justine does some convincing, Marcus sets up a meeting to meet with Alex's guardians. Well, his family, but his aunt shows up instead. He can sense something's up, so he tells her, like, no, I need to meet with the actual parents. So they act like it's going to work out, like, oh, she'll have them come in. The next day, she comes to his house, and she's just spouting some nonsense, some wild stuff. Then she gets in this is Gladys, by the way, the aunt. She gets in the kitchen, talking to Marcus and his husband, and does some weird ritual, which ends in Marcus brutally killing his husband. She had complete control of him. This kind of cuts back into the story when Marcus is chasing after Justine at the gas station and has to fight with Archer. After this, we get to see Archer and Justine kind of start working together. And after putting their brains together, Archer shows her the maps that he's been making with the lines intersecting where all the kids were running, and she realizes right at the center of that map is Alex's house. Finally, we get, in my opinion, the most interesting perspective. We get Alex's. We see that he's told by his parents that his Aunt Gladys is coming into town, and they're going to help her rest up and heal because she is sick in some way. He immediately doesn't trust her. She's scary, she's odd, and he's right not to trust her, because by the next day he comes home. His parents didn't come to pick him up, which was weird. He shows up and they are like zombies sitting at the table. And his Aunt Gladys has complete control of them, making them even stab themselves with a fork to show Alex what she can do. So she says to make them normal again, he's going to have to go to his school and bring items, personal items from each of the students in his class. We see her do the weird ritual again, and at 2:17 we see her complete it, which is why all the kids run to their house and into the basement at that exact time, because she wanted them to, essentially. This is about the time when all the different timelines match up, and Archer and Justine are outside Alex's house, and they see Paul wave them in because he's mind controlled right now. So Paul is inside there, and so is James at this point, as far as they know. Once inside, once they pass through a line of salt, Justine is attacked by Paul, and Archer is hilariously attacked by James because he just tosses him around. Not Paul. Archer is a big dude, and Thanos was just tossing around this little guy. The fight gets pretty brutal, and at one point, Alex's parents start to attack him. But what he does is really, really smart, and one of the smarter horror movie character things I've seen people do before. He actually does the same ritual that Gladys, the aunt, was doing, because she's some form of witch, something like that, and basically has all the kids in the basement attack her. This scene is absolutely hilarious, because she's just hightailing. She's running so fast, and there's like 17 kids chasing her through windows, through doors, through people's houses, and they literally tear her apart. And once they do kill her, all the zombies just go back to normal. We get to see Alex hugging his parents, which is really nice. We get to see Matthew get taken home by his dad, Archer. It's a nice ending, but Alex really saved the day. This movie's just so good. It's spooky, it's hilarious, it's creative, and it's so well told. This movie's so good that Jordan Peele actually had some of his team members fired because they passed on this script, because he really, really wanted this. And once he saw that they didn't think it was right, he knew he couldn't have them working for him. Like, I really liked Sinners earlier in the year, but I still think this is the best movie I've seen this year. If you have a chance to see it, you should go watch it. Not necessarily in theaters. It doesn't need to be seen on a big screen. It could be seen on your TV, but it's definitely worth a watch. I'm sick of these huge budget $300 million movies. I don't need another Avatar. I don't need 50 Marvel movies a year costing $250 million to do it. I'd rather have a mid-budget movie like this that's interesting and well told and, I don't know, different. It's so funny to me that in this movie, so many different parents thought Justine was a witch because of all this stuff happening. And at the end of the day, it was a witch doing it. It wasn't her, but like Gladys was definitely some kind of witch or something. She was scary looking. I haven't talked about that, but she was weird. Kind of reminded me of Nicolas Cage in Longlegs, a movie I didn't like, but kind of like a similar weird look. Gladys was creepy. And I thought all the actors were really good in this, like Julia Gardner, Josh Brolin, but I really thought Alex was very good. When you have a kid who is a main part of the story, it's very make or break. They can definitely ruin a movie if they're not good, but Alex did a good job. And though this was like a horror thriller movie, I didn't think it was that scary, but like that type of movie, it was pretty cool because I laughed out loud multiple times in that movie. I thought certain scenes like James getting punched in the face instantly, getting knocked out was great. I thought Gladys getting chased by kids is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Just how she runs, how the kids were feral, and how she absolutely deserved what was coming to her. Thought that was hilarious. This movie's very multifaceted. And speaking of the scene with Gladys getting chased by those kids, I bet those kids had a fantastic day on set that day. They got to run after this silly costumed actress that they know, running through glass windows and doors and running through people's houses, just chasing her down and tearing her apart. Had to be so fun as a kid, just so silly. But overall, I really like this movie, and I definitely think it is my favorite of the year so far. There's a few months left to see if that changes, but as of right now, I think it's my favorite. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed. Comment below what other movies you'd like me to talk about, because I don't mind doing this. I think this is fun. It's a shorter-ish video, probably. I don't know how long this is going to end up being, but I don't know. These aren't too bad. I hope you subscribe if you like this, because I put out videos all the time, and it'd be cool to eventually make money from it. I don't know. Either way, have a fantastic day. I will see you next week, and bye. Bye.